How's the wife?
Yeah, good. She's good. Baby? Hello, welcome to this week's edition of ChatnThat. Today's drink is a sherry, Tierra de Oro cream, delicious. I've gone for the ladylike ice version, and Nathan is being a man and
For the
drinking it
manly, the straight man's, the working man's,
the
white privileged male's drink of choice.
straight man's sherry.
Sherry.
Right, so this week I've got a new story, and I'm just going to go balls out into it. Nathan, how do you feel about media outlets, TV, websites, radio, whatever, using Twitter as sources of information, or as a source of information?
I don't think that you can trust the information you find on Twitter. I think the tweets, they call them, or twats, when somebody twats the tweet. I don't think you can trust them. I really don't. You don't know these twatters.
Have you seen any of these sort of media outlets quote?
I don't twat
Twitter. No, but you've not twatted?
No.
Twat?
Yes.
Have you twat?
I perhaps in my youth.
When you
treaded the boards.
Twatted a bit. No, but you can see, like, even if, like, watching CNN or whatever, actual supposedly legit media outlets use Twitter and will give you like screenshots of Twitter, and that will make the news.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it will create news.
Slacktivism.
Yeah.
Media slacktivism.
I mean, every single story that we talked about last week, it got created because it started on Twitter.
Really?
Okay? That's the idea.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So, basically the story that came out yesterday, I think, or at least this week, is that one prominent Twitter, called Jenna Abrams, has been identified as a fake account controlled by a Russian propaganda outlet. This person, Jenna Abrams, had a whole bunch of followers. We'll put a picture of her, but she amassed 70,000 Twitter followers and was quoted in articles from Bustle, US News, World Report, USA Today,
Playboy,
BET, Yahoo, Sky News, Breitbart, Washington Post, New York Daily News, BuzzFeed, of course, Huffington Post, Telegraph, CNN, BBC, Independent, Observer, Daily Mail, New York Times. Everyone quoted this person. There was a few like memorable episodes. One had to do with Kim Kardashian for some reason. I think her nude selfie like years ago.
She did a nude selfie?
She did a nude selfie.
Is it on the internet?
It is on the internet. And another one was some comment about the Confederate flag, which got everybody sort of riled up. So turns out this is all created by a Russia troll farm, they call it.
Troll farm.
A troll farm.
Is that where feminists come from? So, in today's episode of ChatnThat, we are going to find out if we're sexist.
Are we?
I don't know. Well, we're certainly going to dip our toes in the waters and perhaps dip other things in the waters and find out whether or not we hold sexist views. And we're going to start off with a video, and thank God, these women managed to ask some questions to men that I don't think had ever been asked before.
True. Source, BuzzFeed.
BuzzFeed Yellow.
How does it feel to be the same sex as Donald Trump? Why do you feel like it's okay to harass women or make offensive comments about women, but when somebody does it to your sister, it's not okay?
How does it feel to interrupt me when... Why do you have to sit with your legs so wide open?
I get that you have balls, but I don't stand around with my arms wide open to make room for my boobs. Why are you always trying to prove your masculinity to me?
Why the f isn't it ladylike to cuss? When did words get gendered?
Assume a woman's angry because she's on her period.
Why do you think women that wear makeup are false advertising? We can say the same thing about your dick size. Why isn't it weird that there's a bunch of old white men sitting in a room making legislation about what I can and can't do with my body?
Do you have a coochie? Why do you ever get tired of trying to be manly all the time? Why are you so afraid of gender equality?
Why do I deserve to be paid less than you?
In what world does 77 cents equal $1?
In what world does 68 cents equal $1?
How is that fair?
Why are you intimidated by a woman who makes more money than you? That's awesome! More money! Why are you so afraid of recognizing your own privilege? Doesn't mean you're a bad person. Just recognize it and do something about it.
There you go. That's it. It would be interesting to know what proportion of those women are lesbians. Who knows? It could be, I'm saying, above 70%. Not that it matters, of course. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to try and answer these women's questions as best we can. Okay, so
What is wrong with the world?
let's take on the first question.
How does it feel to be the same sex as Donald Trump?
That's actually a very good question.
How does it feel to be the same sex as Myra Hindley?
Who's Myra Hindley?
The murderer, one of them, a big murderer. How does it feel to be the same sex as Donald
I don't
Trump's
think you should be calling
daughter?
her big, Nathan. The sexist. and
I am awfully
and
sorry.
Fattest.
Fattest, yeah, you are correct.
You're fat shaming.
I'm fat shaming. That's my modus operandi.
Well, lady of no name, I consider it to be a privilege to be the same sex as.
Can I say she does have a
Donald
name?
Trump.
We just don't know what the name is.
She chooses not to.
chooses
We don't. We also don't know her pronoun. But it is a. It is a absolute honor to be the same gender as Donald Trump,
Daddy
Gandhi,
Trump.
Jesus,
God,
Mohammed.
Mohammed, Ronaldo,
Cristiano Ronaldo,
Churchill.
Bruno Mars, and Justin Bieber. So, I mean,
We're going to put that one down as wrecked.
Why do you feel like it's okay to harass women or make offensive comments about women, but when somebody does it to your sister?
Who thinks it's okay? What man thinks it's okay to harass women and to make sexual comments to women?
criminals.
Criminals think that that's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think that's okay.
I don't think that. I don't even have a sister.
Right. What do you think about this whole the new issue of wolf whistling is to be made illegal
God, I
in
saw
France?
That. Piss off. Stop it now. Stop it right now. What the fuck?
The difficulty that we've got here is that it's wolf whistling and lecherous behaviour. You bloody lech.
What is the difference between wolf whistling and catcalling?
Well, one, you're a manly wolf, and the other, you're a little feline cat. I think both of I think both of those things are to be stopped in French culture.
What? Why?
Because they propose that it's because women feel unsafe when you wolf whistle at them.
Okay.
Right? I understand that to a point, but do you know how much they want to fine someone for this?
I understand the catcalling thing, because if catcalling is like, "Hey, what's up, cutie?" or something like that. I don't know.
Right, but do you know how much you're going to get fined? Yeah.
That's quite
what
nice.
if you're just whistling like,
and people perceive it,
and then the gendarme hear you whistle and they go, "Oh, monsieur, il a wolf whistlé.
Stop now.
Stop now!" And then they just arrest you on sight. I mean, that's ridiculous.
But what is the fine?
Could be up to €5,000.
Depending on how good the whistling is.
And dependent, yeah, exactly. It's I do not understand it, but it's also for lecherous behaviour and also for Latin chat-up lines. And
specifically Latin chat-up lines.
I don't understand what they mean by that. To which I say to you, "Pro te amor mia similis ad diarrhea est, non possum ea intra continere."
How very dare you?
Which means, my love.
What the fuck?
My love is like diarrhea. For you, I cannot keep it in. Arrest me, gendarme. Right?
Like, I've never wolf whistled. Mm-hmm. I've never catcalled.
No.
I've never honked my car horn at a girl. It's a stupid.
Never
thing
honky.
Never honked my honky. But like, it's a stupid thing to do. It's a stupid caveman thing to do.
It is a stupid caveman thing to do.
If you do that, you're a caveman. And
You are
stupid.
Yeah.
But you should have the freedom to do stupid shit.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Okay. Next.
It's not okay.
How does it feel to interrupt me when
Why do you have to sit with your legs so wide open?
I get that you have balls, but I don't stand around with my arms wide open to make room for my boobs.
What the fuck are you talking about?
When you this is like when men sit on trains, they have to sit with their legs slightly open. Now,
Manspreading, it's called.
it has a name.
It has a name. It's
Thank the
manspreading.
Lord, it has a name.
Manspreading.
Manspreading.
So manspreading would be like you can't really see because I'm not. I'm not wearing.
Luckily
any
for you, he's not
trousers.
wearing. But his manspread is not worth seeing. I can tell you that for nothing.
Really is. Something to behold. But like, what is that though? Like, men do that more
Look,
than women?
If men do it, it's because they have a dangly region that does not want to be squashed. We can't help that. And at no point when are women ever have to walk around like this. Never.
Of course not.
You don't have
But
to
like,
do that.
When has that been? And when did that start to be an issue? The way that men sit, or what?
When there are so many things going on in the world, manspreading is now a big issue. What is
These
wrong?
people need to find something else to like.
Do.
Maybe a man.
Why are you always trying to prove your masculinity to me?
Why are you trying to prove your masculinity to me? Like,
Am I trying to prove my masculinity all the time? Is that something that we do?
I don't believe it is something that we do, try to prove our masculinity. Some men might try to prove their masculinity.
And also, if that happens, men tend to do that in their own group of men. They're not trying to necessarily prove the masculinity
Yeah, exactly.
to women.
Exactly.
That is a biological, animalistic
Yeah.
instinct.
Yeah.
Why the isn't it ladylike to cuss? When did words get gendered?
Says
Okay.
somebody who's clearly never studied a language except for English. When did words have gender? Probably about 5,000 BC words had gender. Are you serious?
True. Also, I don't like the word cuss.
Yeah, don't say that.
Don't say cuss. That's
Say
stupid.
swear,
Swear, or
profane.
swear, or expel profanity
Expel profanity, yes.
through the orifice located.
Of your choice. Yes.
What do you think about that though? Like women cursing or swearing?
Dude, I really do not care if a woman swears or not. I don't think it's less ladylike to swear.
It is, you know, like I kind of get it, but you can swearing does not make you unladylike. Swearing like a fucking builder,
Like a docker.
yeah,
Yeah.
will make you look unladylike. But then
But
again,
also,
if a
if
man
you
swears,
dress up as a builder, it will make you look even more. You know.
exactly.
So, I don't know.
If you get a haircut like a builder, it's the same. But like, yeah, I mean, if a man swears a lot, that's not cool. You're
No.
considered not very polite, not very well
Educated,
not
yeah.
very educated.
I would think the
thing
same
for a woman.
I'd think the same
Exactly
of
the
any
same thing for a
woman
woman.
who swore as I'd think of any man who swore too much. I think, why do you
Exactly.
feel the need to swear that much?
Ladies, if you want, you can do everything that men do. You can swear, you can spit on the floor, you could do that. You could scratch your ass in public, you can scratch your non-balls in public if you want to. Go crazy. Do everything that you think men are allowed to do that you want to do.
Assume a woman's angry because she's on her period.
Why do you assume a woman's angry because she's on a period? Probably because it's the most likely time of the month when a woman's going to be angry, when you're undergoing deep hormonal changes in your body. Like,
Yeah,
women do have mood swings when they're on their period.
Absolutely.
For medical reasons.
they absolutely do. But there is
And there's nothing wrong
there
with
is
that.
not any man who is not playing a part in a film who goes, "You're very angry, you must be on your period." No man does that.
Why do you think women that wear makeup are false advertising? We can say the same thing about your dick size.
What? What are
How?
you talking about? Okay, let's unpack this. And
Unpack the package.
Exactly. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
What do we do with our dick size that is false advertising?
Unless you have some sort of contraption which makes your Willington seem a little bit bigger than it really is, and you might excite a lady at that, and then you take off said contraption, you have a tiny acorn penis. If that were the case, I'd say
if
you have
you-
falsely advertised
If
your...
you use the old sock trick. You put a sock in your trousers.
And then exactly.
I don't think, I might be wrong here, but I don't think that the sock in the trousers in the pants thing is as common as makeup with women. I'm not sure.
Unless she is implying the fact that men also put makeup on their willies, or maybe that's what she's encountered, and then when it came down to it, they had to take it off with the makeup wipe, and she went, "Oh my god, it's a monster! It's all ugly and bent."
Why isn't it weird that there's a bunch of old white men sitting in a room making legislation about what I can and can't do with my body?
Who are you talking about?
Who are these white men?
Which white men? In what room? Making what decisions? Are you talking about American Congress? Because if you are, then there are women who are also in the American Congress.
Well, women, they're people who are not white.
Yes. You see,
they're also younger white men.
Yeah. What I find interesting is it's not only men. It seems to be white men that they're having a go at.
Old
white men. Yeah. That seems to be their demographic of people not to like.
Do you have a coochie?
What's a coochie?
Why ever get tired of trying to be manly all the time?
Do you ever try and get tired of being manly all the time? Clearly not.
Why are you so afraid of gender equality?
What do you mean by why are we so afraid of gender equality?
Are we?
Afraid of what exactly? What do you mean afraid of gender equality? I mean,
is keeping my 7 wives locked in the kitchen at all times me being afraid of gender equality?
No, but that's a religious reason, so everyone has to shut up about that and ignore it because it's religion and he's allowed to do that. Allowed to do it. Everyone can do what he wants.
Why do I deserve to be paid less than you?
In what world does 77 cents equal $1?
In what world does 68 cents equal $1?
How is that fair?
In worlds with different currencies.
Right.
86 cents in euros might be actually a dollar. I don't know.
They're clearly talking about the gender wage gap here.
Yeah, okay, let's go into it.
Let's just unpack the wage gap here.
Yes.
Shall we? Now, if you're a single woman and you come straight out of college, you are paid exactly the same as a man who comes straight out of college. It is illegal in Europe, in America, in England to pay men and women different salaries for the same amount of work. It is illegal.
Yep. It is legislated.
So where does this come from? Well, this comes from people
It comes from Obama.
It comes from Obama.
Obama said the 70 cents
misusing statistics.
Yeah.
Do you know how they came up with the figure?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they added up 144 different countries, right? And then what they did is they took from there the amount that men are paid compared to the amount women are paid.
All men to all
All
women.
men and all women in 144 countries. Some of these countries being Saudi Arabia, Yemen, the United Arab Emirates, Dubai.
But even if you take those out, which obviously that already skews the results. Yeah. But even if you take those out, it is intellectually naive, let's say that, if not to say stupid, to put all men, all women, and then combine and then compare what everybody earns. You can't do that because people don't they don't have the same jobs. Statistically, men are more likely to do, for example, very dangerous, high-paying jobs. The kind of jobs that will send you to an oil rig for how many months in the year, to go like crab fishing in the Antarctic or whatever they go and do that.
Yeah,
that obviously gives you that changes things.
Is it? I mean, this is exactly spot on. One reason why this wage gap came to be, because men do the dangerous jobs that pay more money, and if you don't realise, these are jobs that men sort of have to do. Let's take a dangerous job like firefighting, for example. How many women want to be firefighters? Very few. Of those women, how many actually pass the fitness test to become a firefighter? 15%.
Really?
Yeah, 15% of women pass to become firefighters.
Okay.
So when you look at how many women are wanting to become firefighters, and then say 85% of those women are not going to get the job.
But see, that is when we're being sexist, aren't we? Because it should be 50%. You should have 50% men, 50% women in the firefighters. Because it doesn't matter if the men are better.
Yeah.
You need equality.
Well, do you know what happened in 2011? They made the test easier so that more women could pass.
Did they really?
Is that really the sort of thing you want to be doing?
That's what they're going for. That's what we are walking towards.
Yeah.
Like, that logic is ridiculous. There is a test that people need to pass.
Yes.
If they don't pass it, then that's not discrimination. That's just the test, right?
Let's take the army as another example of that. You are, of the amount of women who want to join the army, the amount of those women who then manage to get in and pass basic training is below 20%.
Yeah.
So I'm all for getting as many women as you can into any of these professions.
Absolutely.
But again, with the army,
But competent women.
but you have to pass the test.
But there's more than just that. There's like likelihood of women doing part-time jobs rather than men doing part-time jobs. Women tend to have more part-time jobs.
Right.
When they're small business owners, women tend to do sort of small businesses that allow them to work more part-time. This is not what I'm saying should happen. This is what happens. This is the natural tendency. Why does that happen? Of course it happens because women have kids.
Yeah.
That's it. These women are going to say, did we choose to be the gender that has kids? Oh my
Okay,
God.
let me say right, fine. You might use the example that you didn't choose to be the gender that has kids. However, you choose to have children. And 70% of people who are over 30 in America choose to have children. They want to have children. And what happens when you have children? You can't work as many hours. Men and women are paid the same amount of money for the hours they work, but men work more hours. And they work more hours because women want to go and look after the children, which is the most important thing that any human being can do. Why do people put that down and make it seem like it's a bad thing? That's what I think modern day feminism seems to be doing.
Yeah, no.
Seems to be like, if you're a woman and you want to look after your children, then you're being a bad feminist. No, you're doing the single most important thing that can exist, regardless of anything.
Statistically, what will make you happier?
Exactly. Statistically, you are
proven that having a family and caring for a family, not just women, men and women, will make you happier in the long run. Happier than having a high-paying job. That's just, again, something that has been studied. Let me ask you this, though. What about the argument of there are way more men in positions of power than women?
Okay, there are more men in positions of power than women. But if you look at the reason why that is, I think, let's not forget, now I am in no way trying to say that sexism did not exist in the past,
and does not exist
now
places.
in other places.
And even in our society.
Of course, yeah. It does exist and it needs to be addressed. My issue is that you are addressing the wrong problem.
Absolutely.
This is not the gender wage gap is not the problem you should be looking at. No. Now, nowadays, if a woman wants to be the head of a corporation, she can be. Why doesn't she? Because on average, women don't want to do it, and they don't want to do it because they want to look after their families, and they haven't got this drive for power that men do.
Not only that, yeah, exactly. It's the trying to be manly. It's the
look at how much money I've got. Women don't care about
the alpha male thing. Like, not only that, you got to remember that in America, this is recent. It's 70s, is it?
Yeah.
Like, and more recent in other countries in Europe. You need time to see society shift with these changes. Like,
this is perpetuated by headlines that we had recently saying gender wage gap won't close for another 217 years. Again, this was done by the World Economic Forum, taking into account the same countries. You're going to have to wait 270 years for Saudi Arabia to let a woman leave the house without a male
They've only
guard.
just been able to drive. Start driving.
Yeah, exactly. So, of course it's going to take that amount of time.
Don't compare two things. If these people want to, like, do stupid BuzzFeed videos and complain about things, go complain to the countries that actually have a massive systemic
you go to Saudi Arabia problem. And you say, let all the women be free. Yeah, let's see how that goes.
Why are you intimidated by a woman who makes more money than you?
I'm not.
Why are you so afraid of recognizing your own privilege? Doesn't mean you're a bad person. Just recognize it and do something about it.
Okay. That's the one. That is the one. Have you ever felt any sort of privilege as a male in your life?
No.
In counterpoint to women?
No, absolutely not.
When does that happen?
Right. when she's talking about male privilege.
Male privilege.
I assume she's also. I'm putting these words in her mouth. She doesn't say this, but because of the themes, I imagine she's talking about white male privilege.
Yes.
I think that's a fair assumption to make. So let's consider this. Now, 18-year-old women are 35% more likely to attend university than 18-year-old men. There's some female privilege for you. 37% of black school leavers go to university, and only 28% of white school leavers do that. Therefore, to say that there are more white males in universities because of privilege is not true. Also, that then caused UCAS, which is the you know what UCAS is, yeah?
The English system of
its chief executive to pose the question, is it time to outreach more white men to get them into college and university? Yeah.
That's interesting.
I also would like to say that a YouGov analysis of 48 different surveys of public attitudes found that young white men are viewed as the worst ethnic, gender and age group. They are the most derided ethnic group in Britain.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Now, there's a few different things here, and it will depend on countries. This is obviously YouGov is obviously the UK. Now, in terms of man-women, which is what we're talking about here today, where is the privilege? Explain to me where is the privilege.
Yeah.
I went to school with girls. Girls were way better students than all the boys were when I was in school. When we got to university, that kind of balanced out a little bit in terms of like women being better. But again, there were women there, like loads of women in university. It was great. And then everybody graduated. Women graduated. They finished they were allowed to finish their course. They got the diploma, and they went on to find jobs.
Yeah.
Women that I know went on to find jobs.
Yeah.
So where is the privilege? Where the hell is the privilege?
And if anything, in the UK right now, it's completely gone the other way. You're more likely to find a job in STEM research if you're a woman.
In the UK, you've got now quotas and things, which is dangerous
of course
territory.
it's dangerous, yeah.
It's dangerous territory.
Yeah, it really is.
So what about this? Like, there are situations, I feel, where it is better to be a man. Now, that does not come from society, it does not come from a systemic rule or anything. It just comes from perhaps biology. If you are a male teacher, your life is easier than a female teacher when it comes to like managing your students.
Right.
For example.
You've just reminded me of a point that I didn't make earlier. This is related to the fact that anyone who might say, when I say there are jobs that women choose and there are jobs that men choose, you might say, no, that's not true. Okay, well, why is it then that in the UK, for primary school teachers, 15% are men? 15% are men.
Of course. You don't need a study to know this. Everybody knows this.
So why is that? Is that because men can't get jobs? No, it's because they don't want to do it.
Exactly.
Men have jobs they want to do. Women have jobs they want to do. And the highest paying jobs tend to be jobs that women don't want to do. Yeah. If you look at it, the highest paying jobs in America are jobs related to computer science. Yeah. And 15% of women now, it's fallen dramatically since 1985 when it was much higher. Now I think it's something like 15%. Right. Are interested in computer sciences. It's fallen. It's fallen since 1985. So yeah. And so are you going to put that down to the fact that society's become more sexist? Because it clearly hasn't. If anything, society's become much, and rightly so.
Yeah, I mean that's there's a series of studies made in Sweden, I think, and Sweden apparently is always a model for progressive, progressive laws, progressive system, progressive ideology. They have found that with the rules in place to have complete equality, that those differences have actually become more observable.
Okay.
It didn't happen that women and men started going for the same things. It just happened that you could see the differences in choices much, much more clearly than you did before. So it's obvious that
it seems to be like a column, like the backbone of modern day feminism, that men and women are exactly the same. And what they seem to have done is equate equality and worth to being the same thing. Yeah. Men and women are both equal in worth and value.
Yeah.
But they're not the same thing.
Absolutely not.
and it seems to say that is sexist.
It's exactly, and it's the old thing. It's equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome.
Yeah.
Your outcome will not naturally be the same, because we don't want the same things, and we will never choose and try to go for the same thing. So the outcome is not going to be equal. If you're making it equal, then you are creating a farce. You are creating a lie, and if you create a lie, that's dangerous. You're going in the wrong direction. Humanity is going in the wrong direction. You can give us both the same opportunity, we will not have the same outcome, because he is lazy to fuck, and I am
a hardworking
man.
Yeah.
And clever.
Well, there you go. I think we've pretty much said everything that needs to be said there. Hope you enjoyed it. You can find we'll post in the description the full video there of all the lovely ladies speaking about how much they hate men, and you can find them all on Zoosk. And
Grinder, more like
Grindr.
I don't know if that's only a gay man thing.
I think it could be, but I'm sure there's a female equivalent.
Yeah.
And cheers.
Let us know what you think about
Yeah.
what we said. If you were offended,
then please let us know. Catch you next week.
Catch you next week.